You have to work with them, compete against them. He even, like, forms relationships with some of them.
Oh, wow. So it's like he's actually experiencing history firsthand, not just observing it.
Exactly. And I think
Welcome to Bookhaven.
all right, so have you ever, like, thought about just ditching everything and, like, I don't know, jumping into history?
Into history.
Yeah, like not just reading about it, but like actually being there,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like time travel kind of thing.
Exactly. Like full-on time travel, dinosaurs, samurai, pirates, the whole package.
That's pretty wild.
It is, and that is exactly what we're diving into today with Echo Nova, this book by Clint Hall.
Echo Nova. Okay.
Yeah, so it's got all that time travel stuff we were talking about, but like there's also this whole competition thing going on.
Competition, like a game show.
Kind of, yeah. But like with super high stakes, you know? And it's not just like who can answer trivia questions fastest. It's more like, you know, who can survive being thrown into these crazy historical situations.
Okay, so it's not just fun and games. There's some danger involved.
Oh yeah, tons of danger. And on top of that, there's this whole moral dilemma thing going on too. Like, what would you be willing to do to win?
I mean, that's a great question.
So yeah, it's a pretty intense book. And that's why we are doing this deep dive on Echo Nova today.
It sounds like it.
So the basic setup is this.
Yeah.
We got this main character, Dash, and he lives in this like super bleak dystopian future.
Dystopian, huh? Always a good starting point.
Yeah, right. They call it the dregs. Not a very pleasant place.
The dregs, that doesn't sound too good.
No, not at all. But then Dash gets this opportunity to become what they call a time star.
A time star?
Yeah, and basically that means he gets to travel to different historical periods and compete in these challenges.
So it's like escaping the dregs by going back in time.
Yeah, exactly. It's like this escape from this horrible reality.
Yeah.
But, you know, things are never that simple, are
I was
they?
going to say there's going to be a catch, right?
Right. So I thought it was really interesting how the book, like, contrasts the dregs, you know, this horrible dystopian future, with all these really vibrant historical periods. Like, what do you think about that?
Oh, absolutely. That contrast is really striking. I mean, on one hand, you've got this, you know, grim, almost hopeless future, and then on the other, you've got these romanticized, almost historical settings.
Yeah, like, are we supposed to be thinking that the past is somehow better than the present?
Yeah. Or is it more about, like, you know, our tendency to look back on the past with rose-colored glasses?
Right. Like, we always think about the good stuff, but we forget about all the, you know, the bad stuff that was going on, too.
Exactly. And I feel like that's, like, a really big part of what Echo Nova is trying to explore. Like, this idea that, you know, maybe we're kind of disillusioned with our own time, you know, and we romanticize the past, even if it wasn't necessarily better.
Yeah. Totally. Like, we're always searching for something better, something more authentic, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's kind of where Dash starts out, right?
Yeah.
He's just desperate to get out of the dregs. Like, that's his main motivation. But then, as he starts meeting people from all these different eras, you know, things start to change for him.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. So he's not just, like, a tourist. He's actually interacting with people from the past.
Oh, yeah, totally. You have to work with them, compete against them. He even, like, forms relationships with some of them.
Oh, wow. So it's like he's actually experiencing history firsthand, not just observing it.
Exactly. And I think that's what really starts to shift his perspective.
Makes sense. So what kind of historical periods are we talking here?
Oh, man. It's all over the place. I mean, he goes to the Cretaceous period, you know, dinosaurs and all that.
Dinosaurs, like, seriously?
Yeah, like T-Rexes and everything.
Okay, that's pretty intense. What else?
He goes to feudal Japan, get caught up in the whole, like, samurai world.
Samurai, huh? So we're talking sword fights, honor codes, all that.
Oh, yeah, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Then there's the Wild West, you know, cowboys and outlaws.
Wow. Okay, so, like, shootouts at high noon.
Exactly. And then to top it all off, he ends up on a pirate ship during the golden age of piracy.
Hold on, pirates too.
Yeah, like full-on Blackbeard-style pirates.
Okay, so this book is not messing around.
Nope. It's like non-stop action and adventure. But it also makes you think, you know, like, what would it actually be like to be thrown into those situations?
Right. And I mean, each of those historical periods comes with its own set of challenges, right? Like surviving in the Cretaceous period, that's going to be, like, next level survival skill.
Totally. And then, like, navigating the social customs and rules of feudal Japan.
Yeah, you can't just waltz into a samurai duel without knowing what you're doing.
Exactly. And then there's the whole moral code of the Wild West, like, is it okay to shoot first and ask questions later?
Right, and don't even get me started on the whole pirate code. So it's not just about, like, the physical danger, it's also about, like, navigating all these different cultural and moral landscapes.
Absolutely. And, like, all of this is happening while Dash is being manipulated by this, like, super shady corporation that's sponsoring the whole Time Star thing.
Oh, really? So there's, like, a bigger game at play here.
Oh, yeah. The Dominus Corporation. They're the ones who created the whole Time Star competition. And they're not exactly doing it out of the goodness of their hearts.
So, like, what's their angle? Why are they sending people back in time?
That's a good question. I mean, they say it's, like, for entertainment and historical research, but it seems like there's something more going on.
Something more, huh? So Dash is basically like a pawn in their game.
Right. And, like, I think that's where the whole moral dilemma thing really comes into play. At first, Dash is just desperate to escape the dregs. But as he experiences these different periods, he starts to develop this, like, empathy for the people he meets.
Oh, that's interesting. So he's, like, changing and growing as a person.
Yeah. But at the same time, he's got to remember that he's playing this game and a Dominus Corporation is pulling the strings. So, like, how do you balance that? How do you hold on to your values when there's so much at stake?
That's a tough one. And I guess that's, like, a question for all of us, right? Like, how far would we go to achieve our goals? Would we be willing to compromise our morals?
Yeah, I mean, it makes you think about what you would do in that situation.
For sure. And it also makes me think about how we tend to view history. Like, do we just focus on the big events, the wars, the famous people? Or do we actually stop to think about the everyday people who lived through those times?
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, Dash is forced to actually interact with those everyday people and see history from their perspective.
Right. And I think that's something we can all learn from. Like, history isn't just about dates and facts. It's about people, their stories, their struggles.
Exactly. It's like Echo Nova is reminding us that history is alive, It's not just something that happened in the past. It's still relevant to us today.
Absolutely. And it's a reminder that the choices we make, the values we hold on to, they all have consequences, not just for us, but for the future.
So yeah, Echo Nova is definitely more than just a time travel adventure. It's a story that makes you think about your own values, your relationship with the past, and what you would be willing to sacrifice for a chance at a better life.
And on that note, I think I'll leave everyone with this. If you had the chance to be a time star, what historical period would you choose? And what challenges do you think you'd face? Would you be able to hold on to your own morals in a world that's completely different from your own?
It's a good question. Thanks for joining me for this deep dive into Echo Nova today.
Thanks for having me.
Grab Echo Nova by Clint Hall, now on sale for just $20.84. Don't miss this chance to build good habits and achieve remarkable results. Click pre-order now today.
Like and subscribe for more Bookhaven podcasts.